Hey guys, welcome back to another trade recap. Today I'm going to be doing a recap on the trade I took for June the 4th, 2026 on Thursday. Okay, so I'm going to get right into it, guys. Starting in on the higher time frame on NQ, first thing I'm noticing is we finally run out this this key level, which was a low. This whole low resistance build up, all this liquidity all these failure swings that we were putting in. We finally run that out. At the same time, we have this 4-hour SMTF, which if you remember from the last video, SMTF is this candle, this 10 a.m. candle here on NQ is a fair value gap, and this 10 a.m. candle, on YM, it's nothing. So SMTF aligning with all that low resistance, we take it out, and coming into right here, we have a 4-hour swing divergence as well. As you can see, NQ 6 a.m. candle took out 2 a.m. candle, and YM did not. So that is what I instantly started noticing on NQ on the 4-hour. Let's jump down to last thing. Last thing I noticed here was that we rebalanced this range as well. So 3 things on the 4-hour already. We rebalanced the range, took out this key level inside of a SMTF, 4-hour swing divergence. And so far, the way it's playing out, this 4-hour open low, taking out the 2 a.m. low. So in my head, we're either going to expand at 9:30 or consolidate, and then 10 a.m. will expand. And 10 a.m. would be our candle 3 formation. Okay, continuing on to the 1-hour. Okay, so here on the 1-hour, here I have our daily. This is our daily candle that I have pulled up. So the day opens up, very obvious accumulation, manipulation. So here we have our accumulation, and we had our manipulation. So to me, we have this forming for the day. The day accumulates, opens low, manipulation, weekly cycle, sequential SMT. So now, and we also, like I said, we took out that low resistance low, key level. Even though it looks like a short term, looks like we're playing in a downtrend, but as you can see, it's just to me, this was just a retracement. And I also like to point out that this literally looks perfectly. This is like a textbook market maker buy model waiting to form. So we have the market maker buy model. Buy model starts up here. First stage accumulation, second stage reaccumulation. Go down, we hit the key level, and this is where our smart money reversal would be. So this would be our. Let me find this tool. So this would be our sell side of the curve, and then we're starting our smart money reversal here. So I'll be looking for something like this. So yeah, we do form weekly cycle sequential SMT here. And for those of you who don't know, weekly cycle sequential SMT, to put it in simple terms, it's just a SMT between daily candles. That's what a weekly cycle sequential SMT is. Okay, dropping down. We also have a 1-hour swing divergence here, so still leaning bullish as well. Drop down to the 50-minute. You can see it's a little more clear. The day opens up and down, accumulation, come down, manipulation, which lines up with the quarters as well. Q1 of the day accumulates, Q2 manipulates down, Q3 will most likely be the start of our distribution. And as this is like right before market open, so in this point in time, we're trading inside of this 15-minute gap as well. So I was looking for 9:30 a.m. to kind of expand right away, just straight up. I really didn't want to see this low revisited, but if we did, oh well. And it wouldn't surprise me because we also have an extremely unbalanced range here on YM. But YM has honestly been doing its own thing recently. I've kind of been putting more emphasis on ES than YM because, as you can see, like looking at all these assets like side by side, YM does not look like it's correlated. It's a very uncorrelated market. But yeah, we're also way beneath the True Day Open. This was my ultimate draw for the day. True Day Open and London High was also my draw for the day. So dropping down to the 5-minute. Same thing here, guys. We formed 90-minute cycle as well. So we already have a weekly cycle, sequential SMT, daily cycle, sequential SMT, 90-minute cycle, sequential SMT. So I kind of already wanted this to start delivering up, but you'll see right now that we get into market open, it doesn't necessarily do that. Let me take this candle off now. I'll open up, thank you. Okay, guys, so market opens there. It's 9:30. We immediately drop here at 9:30, and we take out internal structure. We take out internal structure low. I don't believe we formed anything else there. We just took out internal structure low, which was nice. We formed a 1-hour swing divergence. So this is when I saw this, I was like, okay, we have an internal liquidity grab. This is a protected low because we have a bunch of stacked SMT there. And yeah, this is where I wanted to see us expand because this is also looking like a pretty nice 30-minute power of 3 as well for our 30-minute candle. So you can see the candle open low, take out an internal range low, and start to expand. Okay, this was the first position I entered here. We had an inversion fair value gap right there. I put a limit. I went long right here as soon as we tapped this inversion. I put my stop here below this. Where did I put my stop? Actually, no, my stop was right there. It was right on True New York Open. That was my stop loss, and I simply targeted True Day Open for about a 1 of 3, 160 points. And then we get this candle here, and I move my stop up to this low, and then it stopped me right there. So I took a very minimal loss right there, very small loss. So then I'm like, okay, we do this, take out the low. To me, it's like this is not playing out. So in my head now, I'm thinking it's a 9:41. What I wanted to do is wait for another significant time opening. So I was like, okay, let me wait for 9:45. So here's 9:45. It opens lower. We form micro, and then we form 1-minute swing divergence. There was actually if you took a 15-second change in the state around here, I think this wasn't a bad trade. But the only thing that sussed me out about this was we already came down, took out internal structure low, and we went up, right? And then I took my position. But then when this fails, to me it's like, okay, what else do we want to go lower for? It's not this low, because this low already took out internal structure. It did its job. So the only reason we'd come down from here is to most likely raid this previous 90-minute cycle low. Pretty sure. Yeah. So when we do this, I'm like, okay, the only reason we're coming down here is to take out this low. So now I'm waiting. So 9:45 didn't really present itself. So here I'm still sitting on one little loss. I'm waiting. We're consolidating. We're doing all this messing around, and 10 a.m. opens. Make sure it's on 4. So when it gets good right here. Okay, so 10 a.m. opens. We immediately open low, take out previous 90-minute cycle low right here. We take that out. Let me go back to the 3 charts so I could give us more clarity here. And back to the 4-hour chart. 10 a.m. opens, right? This candle, this 6 a.m. candle still closed as a C2. Took out 2 a.m. low and it closed inside of the candle. So I'm like, okay, so 10 a.m. we raid the previous power of 3's low. We form, so this is 4-hour swing divergence right here. As you can see, the YM and ES did not take out 6 a.m. low, and it's also a PSP. So we have 4-hour PSP swing divergence. So from there, I drop down to 15-minute time frame. We still have our daily cycle. We rated this low. On the 5-minute, we put in 90-minute cycle sequential SMT with this low. And so I'm like, okay. Now all I'm waiting for is some sort of lower time frame sequential SMT, which happens right here. We form microcycle sequential SMT. Okay, so we form microcycle sequential right there. And my entry was about, okay, so my entry was in this candle. We formed microcycle, and I didn't want to wait for it to come all the way up here to CSD and enter a position like way up here, because then our stop loss would just be way too big. I'm not going to have a 90-point stop loss. So I see we put in 1-minute PSP swing divergence. So as you can see here on NQ, we raid this previous 1-minute candle's low, right? On NQ, we raid the previous 1-minute candle low. As you can see on YM, we did not. So we did not raid this low on YM, and this is also a PSP. So you can see on NQ, the 1007 candle closed bullish, on YM bearish. So we have 1-minute PSP swing divergence, so that's my confirmation to drop down to a 15-second time frame. And I just look for a 15-second CISD, which happened at about right here. Put my stop at the low, and I targeted this high right here. I could have gone for true day open, like my initial plan, which actually would have ended up hitting today, which would have been insane. But I was like, this right here is already a 1 of 5, 175 points. Like, let me just take my profits and leave, right? So let this play out. I'm break even there. I went break even when we took out this first internal structure high right here. So I was already break even. And then we started doing a lot of chop right here before my TP, which I didn't worry about. Whenever you see it chopping like this, guys, and as you can see, it's just putting in failure swings. Like, we have a failure swing there, failure swing here, here, like it's just putting in a ton of low resistance lows. So as you can see, just give it a second, and it absolutely tears through. And that's how I hit TP right there, guys. So just simple. I took my first loss over here, sat on my hands, waited for a more obvious manipulation, waited for 10 a.m. 10 a.m. opens low, and it gave us everything we needed to see, and I entered the trade, guys. So yeah, from 4-hour swing divergence PSP, reacting out of that key level after taking out the low resistance liquidity. So that would start our buy program, our buy side of the curve for our market maker buy model. And yeah, the day was a pretty obvious accumulation, manipulation, distribution as well. And yeah, so that was my long position I took there, guys. So after my loss, my little loss and my win, my total P&L was $760 on my Lucid Flex account. My Lucid Flex. So we're working closer, almost past the account now. So hopefully, not in a rush at all or anything, but you know, we keep on doing good, keep on managing our risk correctly, being smart about what we're doing. hopefully pretty soon this account should be passed. So yeah, thank you guys. Hope you guys learned something from this.